All right, everybody, I am back with a brand new movie review. And this is a movie that I have wanted to talk about for a very long time on my channel. None other than Tron Legacy. And I figured with the new movie coming out here in about 2.5 weeks, that this would be, well, actually 2 weeks, that this would be a perfect opportunity to talk about Tron Legacy. And I will be back later on early next week with a review on Tron as well. And then I'm going to do a video on my thoughts ahead of Tron Ares. Because, yeah, you'll see why after I get done with this review. So this movie is 15 years old. I remember this movie came out just shortly before I started my voiceover career and had come out right as I got healthy after being sick for 3 months. And I went and saw this film, and I instantly fell in love with it. Now, there are some returning people from the original Tron movie. You do have Jeff Bridges back as Kevin Flynn. You have Garrett Hedlund. He's actually playing Jeff Bridges' son. He didn't have a son in the original. They talk about that at the beginning of this movie. You have Olivia Wilde, who is playing a character called Cora, who is made within the grid. And you have Bruce Boxleitner back as Alan Bradley. So you got Jeff Bridges and Bruce Boxleitner back, and they are playing their respective characters from the original. And you also have Cillian Murphy is in this as Dillinger, an offspring of Dillinger, who is still in charge of ENCOM at the beginning of the movie. And basically, Garrett Hedlund plays Sam Flynn, and he comes in, and he actually holds the highest amount of, stock in the company, but is not a part of the company and actually sabotages them at the beginning and ends up in the grid after his father disappeared, which they talk all about that at the beginning of the movie. And I got to tell you, there's a conversation, my friend and I, there's a really good friend of mine. His name is Matt, and him and I both have movie theaters. We both built movie theaters in our homes. We both love movies. We're constantly buying physical media. We talk about this stuff all the time. And every once in a while, you get to talk about the perfect film, where music, set design, costumes, acting, the score, everything comes together to create the perfect film. This is one of those movies. I just watched it again yesterday, and after I was hit by the car, last December, I actually ended up watching this movie 2 days in a row. I love this film. Okay, guys, I'm telling you right now, there are very few films where you get transported into the movie and you feel like you are there. From the minute that Sam Flynn ends up in the grid, you are gripped. You feel like you've been transported there. And a big portion of that, and why that happens, is because of the score done by Daft Punk. Now, it's also important to know that this movie was directed by, I want to make sure I get his name right. I think it's Joseph Kosinski. I could be wrong, but let me take a look here. Joseph Kosinski. And if you guys don't know who Joseph Kosinski is, you really should know who he is. Because he actually was the director of F1, the movie. He was also the director of Top Gun Maverick. He was also the director of the movie Oblivion with Tom Cruise. This guy has a perfect track record with film, and I believe this might be his first film. I'm not 100% sure. But man, his directing and the music by Daft Punk really transport you. You feel it when you're there. The colors, the cinematography, everything comes together and you are gripped from the beginning to the end. I actually have some toys from this film downstairs in my theater room. It is a big departure from the first film. The first film is an enjoyable film, but I really did not watch it before seeing, Tron Legacy. And I remember I'd seen Tron when I was a kid, but not since. Now, I do own them both on Blu-ray, and I'm waiting for the 4Ks to show up from, Amazon, from Disney re-release these in 4K, but I did watch both movies in 4K on Disney+. And boy, neither one disappointed in their presentation. But this movie had a very different feel from the original Tron. The original Tron was cool for its time because of the technology that they used, but this film takes it to a whole new level. Throughout this film, there are some things that really just clicked, from the visuals to the fighting to everything that was going on. You really felt Flynn's struggle, the father as well as the son. And so Jeff Bridges is back as Kevin Flynn. And again, he does an amazing job in this film. He's been stuck in the grid for many, many years. And his son, Sam, thought he had either died or that he had committed suicide, or he had run away from the company. And that wasn't the case. And you find all that out in the film. And I'm not going to give any spoilers away in case people haven't seen this. There is more feeling in this movie than most movies that are released today. There is a very touching scene at the very end with Kevin Flynn and his son in the climax that almost brings me to tears every time I watch it. And then there's a scene at the end with Sam Flynn riding his Ducati, early in the morning, and I'm not going to tell you more than that. But the music and that scene and what the implications are of that scene, it gives you chills. It's just really well done. The score is the absolute best part of this film. I will tell you that the Daft Punk score was released in so many different variations. You had to buy, I don't even think a complete score was ever released. And so you had to buy all these different versions to get it all. I do have it all digitally. And man, I used to listen to the crap out of that. When I would read books, novels, I would have this music playing in the background. I still love to play it all the time by itself. It just fits the movie. It is very rare, like I said, that the visuals, the music, the acting, the story, that everything meshes so perfectly together. And this movie is one of those movies. It is one of my top 10 favorite films of all time. We have Tron Ares coming out here in a few weeks, and it's already been confirmed that neither Sam nor Cora are coming back for that movie, which is a huge, huge mistake on Disney's part. They don't understand the cult following that Tron Legacy has. It may not have been the most amazing film when it got released, but since then it does have a cult following, and a lot of people have really come to appreciate it, including myself. So let's talk about my rating on this movie. If you can't tell, yeah, I smile ear to ear just talking about this movie. It is a special film. And it's very rare that you get to see something like this happen. It was lightning in a bottle. This movie was literally lightning in a bottle. They will never be able to replicate what they did with this film. And Daft Punk, they've broken up. They're not back for Tron Ares. It's going to be Nine Inch Nails doing the music, and I've listened to that score, and it is not inspired like the Daft Punk music is. What would have been better is for them to get Zimmer, who did the F1 film score, because that definitely feels more like a Tron score than what Nine Inch Nails has done for the film. But I'm going to talk more about Tron Ares in a future video here coming up, and my thoughts ahead of the release. But if I had to give this movie out of 5 stars, it gets a perfect 5 stars. I don't give 5 stars to films very often, but this movie really touches me. It does. As a father of 4 daughters, and understanding, I can't envision being ripped away from your family, and the sacrifice that Sam, Jeff Bridges' character has to make in the film is, I think, that scene is just so touching towards the end. I'm not going to say any more than that. You got to watch it if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend it. You don't even need to see Tron to understand this film. But I will tell you that if you really want the best experience going into Tron Ares, is to watch the first film, the second film, and then go into Tron Ares, because they are definitely taking a lot more from the original Tron than they are from Tron Legacy. And I'm going to talk about my issues again with this and what they're going to be doing. Disney just can't help themselves, and I think they're about headed for disaster with this film. But we will talk about that in a future video. If you guys have seen it, give me your honest thoughts below. I find this movie to be an absolute joy, and I will be back with my review on Tron and then Tron Ares following that. So look for those videos shortly. I do appreciate it. We'll see you guys on the next video.